So I think this is for someone for sure, but I think it's actually for a lot of people. This next position, this current position that the Lord has you in now, and the next position, right? The elevation, but the valley that we are seemingly all in. You must be seated for this one. You must be seated for this one. I heard it like this yesterday from another pastor. He said, like, God won't, if you think that it was like your like sweat, meaning your like effort to like get you to the breakthrough, well then you're gonna think that when he puts the promise in your hand, that you're gonna have to continue to sweat to keep it. You're gonna have to continue to work to hold on to it. And he's like, no, I need my people to just sit down, to rest. And I feel like this is something that he's more so shifting in the atmosphere, because he's gotten a lot of us to know of our own limitation, to know of our weakness in this last season that we've been in, to become aware that we don't have this self-motivation anymore. It's been like stripped off of us, right? And so he has positioned us to sit down, right? He's positioned us to be still, to come to know that he is God. Meaning, like, it's just not something that you're going to be able to do in your own strength. Like sitting still, sitting down, resting. This seems to be a grace that the Lord has extended, where he's like, I'm putting you in a position where there is nothing for you to do but sit down. And in the moment, in the current time, that feels very discouraging. It's very, very humbling. But he said, for this breakthrough, you're going to have to be seated. For what's coming for you, you're going to have to be seated. It's not going to be you getting up and running around and doing a bunch of things for God. Because then the promise would just be you running around doing a bunch of things for God, but on a bigger scale. And he's like, this is not what I have for you. So I feel like it is a supernatural grace that has given you the truth of your own limitation and your weakness in this previous season. You don't have a motivation to get up. Right? And I would say that God has taken self-motivation from you in a way of doing for you what you can't do for yourself, which is getting you to sit down. It doesn't mean that you don't feel restless, but you're in a position where you're not looking to you anymore to make something happen. And the more that sinks in, the more I believe that the posture becomes, I have to be seated for this one. Meaning it's not going to be my efforts. It's not going to be the work of my hands. It will be his grace. And the more that he has me waiting on him in this season, I see that there is no other place for me to go but to sit down, right? And to wait. Wait. You will have to be seated for this one. The other breakthroughs may have came with you participating in some way, but not this one. He has positioned us to be still, to know that he is God.